Well, hello my peeps. Do you ever walk into your kitchen looking for something to eat and all you find are ingredients? That's what happened to me last night. So I thought I would make one of my favorite things Tuesday night. Keto Big Mac casserole. I haven't made it in a really long time, but I did do a little bit of a search I wanted to see if I could improve the sauce. One of my favorite websites, I've been going to this place for years, Cooks.com. Now, what I like about Cooks.com is they're all like family recipes. They're all very simple recipes. Over the last few years, I would just go to this site during the holidays when I was going to make something that wasn't keto. But I did go, I thought, you know, let's see if there's any Big Mac special sauce recipes on Cooks.com. I found this interesting. I couldn't resist. So this guy named Blackbird, he submitted this recipe. It is the actual special sauce from the original McDonald's restaurant in 1969, found in the Mickey D's Manager's Handbook, if you can believe that. So on my Total Money Makeover budget plan, what I try to do is, I learned this from somebody on YouTube, and she said, don't buy anything until you need it. And I found that that really does help you spend less money. That's why I decided to make the Big Mac casserole tonight, because I had this hamburger. It's amazing how expensive it is right now. I mean, even on sale, this one was $4.92. It was $5.29 a pound originally, for a total of $6.56. So I thought that was a deal. That's what you think, you know, when things get expensive like this. Yeah, let the boats through, please. Let them deliver. This Christmas is going to be so expensive. So these are both 1 1/4 pounds. So I have 2.5 pounds of ground beef, 80/20. The Annie's French dressing, and the ovals, the Vlasic, which is actually on the original recipe. So I only had to buy these 2 things to make this dish. Everything else I had. Oh no, one more thing. I know it's Miracle Whip, but the original recipe calls for the Miracle Whip, just not much. It's like a 1/4 cup. So this does add a couple carbs, 2. Well, more than that in a 1/4 cup, but you know, I'm going with the original tonight. You take 1 small bowl, about that size, that's all you need. I measured everything out. Now, we'll start with the high carb Miracle Whip. Now looking at this, so a 1/4 cup is 4 tablespoons. And this was 1 tablespoon is 2 carbs of Miracle Whip. So, I don't know, that seems awfully high to me. We'll see if it's worth it. My philosophy is, if I'm going to carb up, it better be worth it. Now, they wanted a 1/4 cup Kraft Miracle Whip, so we had that. A 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Apparently the mayonnaise doesn't matter, just the Kraft Miracle Whip matters. 2 heaping tablespoons of the Wishbone Deluxe French. That, I looked at that. That one was 8 carbs. The Wishbone, of course, they want that in the recipe because it is the highest. So this is just 2 carbs for 2 tablespoons. Oh, 3 carbs. It's quite thin, of course, but we have French dressing. And then the Western, which I used to love the Western dressing. That one was pretty high too, 6 carbs. So, all right, that's mixed up. They wanted a half a tablespoon of Heinz sweet relish. Well, we're not doing that. I used 3 heaping teaspoons of the Mount Olive dill relish. We'll just add a little more sweetener. Put that in there. And I included some of the juice. In here is, this is Lakanto sweetener. A heaping teaspoon of the sweetener. For me, I'm using the Tastefully Simple onion seasoning because I happen to have that in my cabinet. And so this has onion, garlic, sea salt, shallots, just a bunch of different onions. And then there's 1/8 teaspoon of salt as per the recipe. Put all that in there. I have a teaspoon of ketchup, which is our 0 carb Primal Kitchen unsweetened. I had that in the cabinet. Otherwise I go with the Heinz, you know, reduced sugar, 60%, whatever it is, because this is pricey, but I happen to have it. Then, last ingredient, I do have the Vlasic pickles, like I showed you, the ovals, but this is going to go on the casserole, actually. For the pink salt, I used the Salt 84 from the dollar store. Alright, white vinegar, Pompeian white vinegar, and that's 1 teaspoon of that. Now we're going to mix this all up. It's starting to look like the special sauce. It needs to thicken up, of course. But people try to just, you know, use Thousand Island. But no, Thousand Island is not the special sauce. If you use it, it's a really big shortcut. Alright, and it says, there better not be any streaks. Then, now this guy, Blackbird, he added these comments. He talks about microwaving for 25 seconds. Somebody commented that there was no microwave in 1969. No, there wasn't, but what they did say was to nuke it. And they had something, if you're old enough to remember, the radar range, and that was the original microwave, and it was really only available to restaurants. So that's what they meant. We have to cover and refrigerate for at least 1 hour, but we're gonna nuke it for 30 seconds first. I tasted the sauce, and it does need more sweetener because we didn't use the sweet relish. So I'm just gonna put in 2 drops of my Sucre Drops, which is equivalent to a teaspoon each. You could, you know, go with your sweetener. So I would use a total of 3 teaspoons of sweetener. Okay, gonna nuke it for 30 seconds. The sauce is out of the microwave. It's a little warm, but I'm gonna stir it up. Now it has to go into the fridge for an hour. Let's check the taste. Much better. 3 teaspoons of sweetener of choice. In the fridge it goes. All right, over here I have the 2.5 pounds of the ground meat, 80/20, and I just put a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of black pepper on there, and then I have the minced garlic. I'm gonna put in a tablespoon of that. Salt to taste, of course. And then I'm gonna do a tablespoon of the Tastefully Simple onion. Or you would just use minced onion. Tablespoon of minced onion. And then, what's this here sauce? I can never say this word. I've told you this a million times. I just can't say Worcestershire sauce. I can't say it. It's what's this here sauce. Since I was a kid. I'm just gonna sprinkle some in. Probably a tablespoon. That's it. I'm cooking this on low since, you know, the sauce has to be in the refrigerator for an hour. Okay, I got the sauce, and let's see. It's still kind of a little bit loose, even after an hour. So that hour is necessary. Probably because we have that very watered down French dressing. I took a bite of the meat. It's seasoned so well. It's really, really good. All right, I'm gonna bring this over here. I'm just gonna pour half of the sauce into the pan, because the rest will go on top. Just to coat the meat. You can see that my meat is just lightly coated. Now I'm just going to set my meat aside and bring over my casserole dish. 1 cup of shredded mozzarella and 1 cup of sharp cheddar. I'm just gonna sprinkle them both on the bottom of the pan. This is so good. Okay. I'm just gonna spread it out. There's my cheese all spread out on the bottom of the pan. And now I'm going to top it off with the meat mixture. Take a look. Now I've topped off the casserole with the pickles. We're getting close to a Big Mac. Okay, a little more cheese. Wisconsin cheese. This was a 2-cup bag. So now I'm going to put the 2nd cup on top of my meat and pickles. Now I'm just gonna dollop the remainder of the sauce on top. We can't forget the sesame seeds. It wouldn't be a Big Mac without the sesame seeds. Now, since this gives it a nice little crunch, I'm gonna be pretty liberal with this. There it is. It's looking really good already. The oven's up to 274. It's going in once it hits 350 for about 20-25 minutes. The casserole is out of the oven. Look at that, just still sizzling away. I'm gonna let this rest for about 10 minutes and then I'll plate it up. We're ready to plate her on up. All right, so I got this artisan romaine. It's Tanamura and Antle. Never heard of it before. Have you? It says for taco salads and wraps. It's really quite interesting. This is the first time I'm using it, but I thought it would be good on this. And look at these babies. These truly are nice for a wrap sandwich. This would actually work. A lot of it doesn't work for me when I try to do lettuce wraps. But this, it's almost made for that. All right, so I'm going to clean this and put some in my bowl and grab some Big Mac casserole. The moment of truth. Look at that cheesy deliciousness. Okay, I have a bite. Mmm. Mmm. It's so good. All right, the pickles add so much flavor. I mean, you cannot do without the pickles. And also, the sesame seeds add a really nice crunch. I can taste the Miracle Whip in there, and I think that I won't use it again because, I mean, it is good, but when you're used to mayonnaise, you know, that kind of is a curveball. And even before I was keto, I always liked mayonnaise on my sandwiches, not Miracle Whip. I mean, when my daughter was growing up, she does the Miracle Whip. She had to have Miracle Whip. Couldn't use mayonnaise. So we always had to have Miracle Whip in the house and mayonnaise because everybody, you know, it's kind of like IKEA. You either love IKEA or you hate IKEA. You make your bed in the morning or you don't make your bed in the morning. It's, you know, personal preference. So I'm going to give her the rest of that bottle at Thanksgiving next week because, yeah, I won't use it and it's not worth the carbs. So just use complete meal. It's better for us. If you like McDonald's, you're gonna love the Big Mac casserole. Game changer. It was for me. This is really delicious. You have to try it. Okay, my peeps. My next video, which is why I wasn't here this past weekend. I have a big announcement coming regarding, well, my channel and my life. So, we'll see you next time. Enjoy your Big Mac.